Hello, Rotary Club of St. Louis. My name is Michael Masella. This is Walter Knoll.
Welcome. Come on in.
Come and join us at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter, good afternoon, and thank you for allowing Rotary Club 11 to come to your wonderful facility here. We understand that we're going into the 6th generation of the Knolls here in the St. Louis district, and you must be very proud of yourself and your family. So thank you. Let's get started. How did you get started in the floral business?
Well, I'm the 4th generation in the business. My boys are 5th and my grandchildren are 6th. My father was the youngest brother, and he actually got nosed out of the business. And interestingly, my wife's father was the youngest in their family, and he got nosed out of his business. The Depression came along and people couldn't support as much. So anyway, I grew up working through grade school, high school, and college, and my boys grew up doing the same thing. We went into our different ventures as we grew, and they ran crews in high school with a lot of their high school kids, and we have just continued along with that. And who knows what the 6th generation's going to do, because their values are different. And you know, our motto was you couldn't go home until your work was finished. And the 6th generation, I don't know if they have those values, but hopefully they will get them by the time they're in control.
So tell me, moving on to the Rotary part of this, why did you get involved in Rotary?
My father was very active in the community, and he was president of the Optimist Club of St. Louis. He was president of the Scottish Rite Club, and he was president of the Florist Association. And when I came back from the service, he told me, he said, if you ever have a chance to be in the downtown Rotary Club, that is the finest service organization there is. So anyway, I was lucky enough to have my father-in-law, who was in St. Louis 11, and he recommended me, and very fortunately, I wasn't blackballed, because back then it was very selective who could get into the club, and there was a florist in here already, but they very graciously allowed me to become part of St. Louis 11. So the first thing that happened, they put me on the reception committee.
I see.
And that was just a perfect place for me. I had to write name tags, which I was very good at doing, and I got to greet all the new people who came and their guests. And so anyway, that was 50-some years ago, and I'm still on that committee. I truly enjoy it. It was a perfect place.
That's outstanding. I was also on the greeters committee and still am, and that was by far one of the best things that I ever decided to do, and I would agree with that. If you could do anything you wanted right now, what would it be?
Well, I think I'm doing exactly what I really want to do. I grew up in the business, and I help people express their emotions, and I happen to do it with flowers.
Gotcha. If money was no object, what would you do all day?
I would do nothing different than I do now. I feel that I am of value, and that's what I do.
Okay, I'm beginning to see a pattern here. Where do you most want to travel, but have never been?
Well, the places that are furthest away, actually, Asia, Africa, New Zealand. Those are places I haven't been. We buy flowers all over the world, and I have visited most of the growers that I buy from on a continuous basis. So I really get to travel around quite a bit. And then besides that, we take vacations. So right now I'm happy to not go too far.
I remember you telling me that in the past, how you've traveled so much to all of your vendors, and I always thought that was amazing. So that's awesome. What is your favorite Rotary moment?
Well, it has to be the comradeship I get with bowling that I miss very much. I bowled until my back went out every week, and I decided I couldn't do that anymore. But that would be my first. And I think the second thing, we were involved with an exchange student through Rotary who was from Finland. And that was when my boys were in high school. And he was in high school also. And he lived with us for a year, which was different than what most cases were, because mostly it was 3 months and go on to a different Rotarian. But anyway, we grew very close. And today he is a interpreter for the United Nations.
Amazing that bowling comes up once again as a favorite Rotary moment. What is your biggest success up until now?
I think my boys are my biggest success. They grew up helping us work in the business, and now they have sons and daughters, and so that would be my biggest success.
And what does your life say about you?
That I'm satisfied, and that things are always changing, and you have to change with the times.
And finally, hashtag Rotary Proud. What makes you proud to be a Rotarian?
Well, I've gotten a lot of acclamations during my life. I have a whole wall in the office that's filled with all kinds of things like that. But on there is the four-way test, and it is the object of Rotary, and that has helped me. It is really what governs what we do with our business and with our life. And I will say that many times salesmen will come in. It's a privilege to do business with us, and we enjoy doing business with being fair to everybody.
It goes with your outfit here. You need that something.
What are you doing? You hauling my leg?
Free spirit rose that rose to the occasion.
Where are you, Chuck?
I'll be there in a lily bit. Are you thirsty? You need a hydrangea? Hydrate you?
For a leaf.
Kale, well that's kale for Gale.
Hail for Gale. Take it or leave it.
Take it or
Take
leave
it or leave it. Why don't miniature pumpkins go riding with the bulls?
I don't know.
Because they're afraid of being squashed.
So, Dad, what does a flower and the letter A have in common?
Both are followed by bees.
And it's a microphone. But I'm so glad you came by. Gladiolas. Did you get that part?